Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Andreas Makaris, founder and president of Big Mouth Survey. I want to thank everybody for tuning into today's show. And again, sorry about yesterday. We weren't able to host our show. Our guest had to cancel. But the greatest thing is that I have a great guest today. I'm very fortunate to have the founder and CEO of a virtual assistant company called VA 360. She is Jelena Mijajlovic. And
That's perfect.
thank you. Thank you. I was like so worried if I was going to mispronounce your last name. And I want to say thank you for coming on to the show today. And how's your day going so far?
Thank you for having me, Andreas. Well, it's been okay. As I mentioned earlier, it's going well when we keep the routine going, daily, since
Yeah.
now we're all at home. So it's very important that we get up on time. Then my toddler is getting up on time, eating well, and then having his nap at the time when I need him to take a nap. So the day is going well so far. We're safe.
Good, good. And I know that we might hear some echoes in the background, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm
Thank
I'm
you.
fortunate enough. I'm not at home because if we were home right now, if I was home right now, you would hear so much in the background. There would be no quiet. There's no such thing as quiet when my two kids are around. Nothing like it. So
I
uh,
can imagine. The only thing that I'm scared of always when he's awake and I have to work or, be on the phone or something is if he were here right now, then I would have to be careful he doesn't pull my cables out or cuts my internet connection or things like that. So it's we're good.
that's good. God bless. God bless. So what if you can tell a little bit of people like your background experience, so everybody can learn a little bit
Okay.
about you.
Well, I used to work for a couple of years in transportation. And then while I was working on that, I was actually freelancing as a virtual assistant. So that's where kind of this whole thing started, where I was able to see that there is a demand for things like that. And a few years back, even like 3 or 4 years ago, things were not as advanced as they are now. And
Mhm.
then when I started the company, just we get bombarded with all these software and everything else. So it's pretty much you can do anything online nowadays. So that's we are very fortunate that we live in time that we live in that it's 2020 and that we have high speed internet connection and then we are all able to work at home, especially now.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my background. And then from being a freelancer, I founded the virtual assistant business where I have virtual assistants working for other people from a remote location.
And when
That was
did
kind of my model.
and how long ago was this? When did you create your or start your company?
Last year, it was last year in July, and I would say, yeah, July last year. So I started with a few people, and then as things moved along, then I hired more. So, and I hopefully we're gonna have more and become even
Well,
bigger.
I'm sure, and I have to say to everybody out there that I am a customer of Jelena. Especially for businesses that I use, I always like to mention, and especially when they do a great job. And I have to say, Jelena, your assistant during the process and during the time I've been working with her, it's been such an ease to work with her. And
Thank you.
shout out to Anna. Anna, hello, thank you. And
Oh, thank you, Anna. Hi, Anna.
so
I mean, you're an easy client to work with. That's also a big plus and easy to communicate with. That's what we need. So to be able to use a virtual assistant, you have to know how to communicate and be uh, on time, correct? As your assistant is, you have to be able to, provide responses, help them out, especially at the beginning. So you've been nothing but great yourself.
and like I said, I just would like to mention to everybody out there is that I definitely have to say that the communication has been wonderful. Because most business
Thank
where I see a lot of businesses struggle is the communication as far as for staying in contact, always asking. Anna's always been asking, "What can I do? Is everything? Is there anything I can help you out with?" Always in contact in the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. So I have to say, 5 stars, A+ on communication.
Thank you so much. That's really so nice to hear because that's what we strive for, to be good at everything and on top of our assignments. That's the most important thing.
So, question that I always ask everybody during this time: how has the coronavirus impacted your life?
Where do I start?
Or
I
anywhere
mean,
you want.
personally, I would say it's devastating, um, to watch everything that's been going on news and on social media and everywhere. Um, you have people that are hungry at the moment, so that's something I don't even watch the news that much anymore. When my toddler is up and around the house, I play his YouTube videos and things like that, and I don't watch news that much because it gets to me emotionally, and you know, I just watch the news to be informed on, if there is anything that I need to change or behave in a different way, or maybe stay in lockdown, don't leave the house at all, or things like that. So, but everything else, and my family is in Europe, so that's also very, you know, it's hard. I can't go over there. So
Yes.
we'll see when that's going to happen. But I would say that's personally and professionally. Um, I think when I started the company, I wanted my model to be a bit different. So to have staff working from the same office, because it's very easy when you have people in the same room for them to communicate between themselves and support each other at the exact moment. And that's what I wanted. But now that's going to change. It's changing actually as we speak. So,
Yes.
um, but I mean, as we discussed earlier, everything can be done remotely, and it's working very well so far. So professionally, I'm going to have to probably give up my model, meaning like not to have people in the same room, but that's fine because they are mentioning that this thing can come back in like September or something. We should might be quiet and then come back. So that's what I have to think about professional, like change my model, but that's okay.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, we're having that as an impact, and to work from home and
Yes.
to work separate from everybody and to communicate through text, email, and Zoom. It definitely is an adjustment. It definitely is.
Yes, definitely.
Um, so, how during this time of the coronavirus, has there been anything that has forced you to get out of your comfort zone?
Um, Forced me not. I mean, this is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Like live video is out of my comfort zone. But I mean, nothing that I would. You see, I was working some days on occasion. I would work from home even before the coronavirus because I have a 2-year old, and it's not easy to adjust to daycare and all that. And he wants me at some days, so
Yeah.
um, not so many things. But I would say in the last few days, this is out of my comfort zone. Live video. That's what I would say.
And hard to believe it was mine, and after a
Hmm.
couple videos, I've kind of eased into the transition of getting comfortable with it, but still, uh,
Definitely.
you know, keep on going.
Yes.
Face
Keep
it.
on going. You're getting better at it every day. Learn something new. Definitely.
Thank you. So for everybody that is just tuning in, I have a special guest today. She's the CEO of my VA 360, which is a virtual assistant company. We're going over some topics and we're just getting started. So if you're just tuning in, great time to stay tuned in. So next question for you, Jelena, is that before I hired your company,
Hmm.
I always had some misconceptions or doubts of using a virtual assistant,
Hmm.
which you've proven to me they were all false. And, you know, and God bless and thank you for making me feel comfortable with the transition.
Oh, thank you.
What are some of those concerns and doubts that you hear most from clients, that have have signed on with you? What have they told you?
Okay, well, the first thing I would say, is there fear or maybe fear of the unknown, meaning they're not used to delegating tasks and they don't know how to do it. So that's where we jump in. We have people that are experienced, and that's what we do. That's what we're created for virtual assistants and companies. So I had a conversation with a potential client a few months back. He's affected greatly due to coronavirus, so he's not working with us at the moment. But his main fear was he always thought that he could do everything on his own. Like
Mm,
he would say, um, "I can't trust someone else to do this better than I do." And I would always say, uh, not necessarily someone has to do it like better than you. As long as it's done properly or equally, that's going to be good enough. And when I have my conversation with clients, I would always say, when you start delegating, start with the things that you hate doing. So whatever you hate doing, you can give it to someone else and then get a report that things are done. Or um, think of make a list of the things that take so much time and effort for you to do, when you can spend that time, you know, uh, talking to your clients, or reaching out to new audience, or simply doing what you do best, like your incoming producing activities, and then leave us to do what is taking up too much of your time. So that what I would say, people don't know how to delegate, and people that have never used VA services, um, they're just scared if that's going to work. If, how am I going
mm.
to do it? So that's where we jump in. We can show them how to delegate, and where to start.
Yeah, well, that was one of my biggest fears was, of the unknown was, are they really like, when I was searching for a virtual assistant, I was always saying, how do you really keep track, or how do you know what they're really doing? And I didn't know actually also too, what could I have them do? Because, as far as for,
Oh yes, I remember. Yes,
and also my concern was, okay, I had to give you, I have to give email access, and certain private, things,
information. Yes.
information, yeah, to you, which, is again, when you have to give out certain private information, everybody gets scared. But I
Hmm.
have to say again, during the process of being on board or onboarding with your organization, each day the fear went away. And, I would say after the first week, definitely I was fearless and had no doubts that I could feel safe with the information that provided to your organization. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. I
And I
appreciate
just want to let everybody know we understand it's not easy when you're trying something new. The unknown is always the scary part. But with Jelena, I highly recommend.
it.
Again, your information, everything is confidential, and they truly understand how you're feeling. So that's the most important part. So thank you
Thank
on that. So during this time, have you seen an impact on the virtual assistant industry? Is there an impact? Is there a good impact, a bad impact? Which I have the answer, which it's probably a silly yes. But if you could explain to me on that,
you.
how has it been a great?
Of course, there is an impact. I would say, from my business and from what I've learned, in my experience so far within the last like a month or so, I do see a higher demand, meaning that people who are not used to working remotely, they need help. Um, they don't know what software to use, or what tools are the best for communication, for sending out things, for um, being on live video, or things like that. And then that's where we jump in, meaning we have the resources, we know what tools you need to use, and what's going to be most beneficial at this time, because that's the virtual assistant business is all about. We can perform absolutely anything remotely. So I would say yes, impact would be, I can't say positive, because it's not positive what's going on at the moment, but definitely a higher demand, and people are asking for help. Not only to hire a virtual assistant, uh, they come to me asking for an advice, like, what do I do? How do I? And I don't charge for a piece of advice, of course. I'm always open to discuss, and help out if I can, and provide resources, or direct people to what they need to use, to a specific website or tools and things like that.
Understood. Understood. So, what if you can explain? Can you explain to the viewers out there the benefits of using a virtual assistant?
Well, I would say that these are the benefits that virtual assistant business is created for these circumstances, not specifically for coronavirus, but in a situation where you have to handle everything remotely. So we can help people, um, delegate tasks. We can help them run their projects, show them what tools to use, and help them out. Definitely, this is where your the Big Mouth survey came in the picture. What I would say. So what I do is, we all have like a database of clients, of potential audience, and things like that. So your survey has helped me a lot to get a feedback from people. Meaning, like, it was the first thing I would mention is that it's very easy to create. People like it because it's fun. It's easy to do. There is no brag. You just do it and you're done, and it looks really nice. Um, and then it's also anonymous, which I would say when you perform an interview or you're trying to get feedback from people like directly, they tend to, we're not gonna say lie, but they tend to be like, you know, hide information, or maybe they're ashamed of something or things like that. This way, I was
Yes.
able to get all the answers, like where
Oh,
they're lacking, where they need help the most, what they're like. Okay, so this is my downside. This is where I need help, but I can't say that. Maybe I don't know how to use Gmail. That's for some people that can be embarrassing, not knowing to use Gmail or whatever. But that's helped a lot. So what you're doing is a great thing, and
thank
hopefully when things go back to normal, the kiosk is gonna run as well. That's gonna be great because it looks amazing. Honestly, it looks amazing.
and I'm glad you mentioned about the kiosk. So yeah, our current business model was, um, having a kiosk that collects feedback.
Hmm.
Now we are going to be launching in the next 2 to 3 weeks a virtual Big Mouth, which will be for online,
Nice.
yeah, for email surveys and text messaging surveys.
Is
So
this an exclusive right now?
this is coming out in the next, like I said, 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to be coming
Nice.
out, and this is because of the coronavirus. It's forced us to launch it early. We were planning to launch our virtual Big Mouth survey platform at the end of the summer, but now that
Mhm.
this is where we're at, we know that the kiosk is going to be put on hold
Mhm.
because of coronavirus, and now we're going to be pushing the virtual side, and we're excited, and I'm definitely gonna let you test it out.
Oh
When
yes, for sure.
I'm gonna let you test it out, and for any business out there, once we have it launched, there will be a free version of it to test out,
Hmm.
try it out, and I think that it will definitely um, help a business, not just for guest feedback, but also employee feedback, to stay in the
Okay,
loop to find out. Because again, like
definitely.
you said, when you're asking people a question face to face or through a Zoom call, some people tend to be a little bit nervous, and
Definitely.
employees will be nervous to give a feedback on a current situation if they're asked in front of,
Hmm.
say, a Zoom call of 8 people. Some people tend to, be a little hesitant. So we
Hmm.
created this platform, and I think it will be beneficial, and the information that I'll be able to gather will be tremendous for all businesses, moving forward. So,
That's amazing, especially people that have like a lot of employees, huge companies. That is so easy to perform and get answers and have a clear picture of what's going on, you know, how are they feeling and things like that. And you see, that's I always like to say we had the coronavirus, but then this thing has pushed you to launch something new and started even earlier than it was supposed to start. So I guess if there is positive things, that's what's going on right now for you, at
definitely.
least.
And I think for a lot of businesses, this has been a time of, waking up, as far as for, we're faced with challenges. And I think for a business that wants to stay relevant, that wants to move forward during this time, you have to challenge yourself. You got to think outside the box sometimes. And,
Yes.
it's really important that you adapt because if you don't adapt to situations, it'll be hard in the future once this thing is over to build the momentum back up again. So,
Yeah,
but thank you.
I would say there is always worse things that can happen, but so
Yes.
far this has been the worst, like worldwide challenge that we are all experiencing. So, like think about that. This is kind of where we at right now, and things have to get better after this, I guess.
Yeah, and it's a matter of time, right? It's just a matter of time.
Yes,
When will things get better? But during the time, we just have to stay positive, stay productive, and try to, I guess, what I say is always increase um, the experience for your customers, and stay relevant. It's most important right now.
definitely, definitely.
So we are near the closing, and we still have some time left. But what is the advice that you would give to the viewers out there right now that are, let's say, in the middle of, do I hire a virtual assistant? Um, you know, what advice would you give to them?
Like meaning as far as my business goes, or just
Yeah, your business.
advice in now.
Yeah, your
I
business.
would say what we do right now is so we do have two types of services within our business, which is executive assistance and then social media management. So those are kind of the main areas. And then what we do is we specialize for certain industries. So the industries that we specialize in would be IT sector, real estate, and then we provide services we specialize for small businesses, for executives, and for entrepreneurs. And then my advice as far as my business goes is I'm doing my best to provide the best service right now for everybody, which means we are currently rebuilding our website. It was supposed to be a couple of changes here and there. It became a complete rebranding. We're changing
Wow.
the colors, we're changing the logo, we're changing everything. So I'm hoping it to be done this week and then launch the new website next week. With the new website, in the meantime, what I was working on, I created a partnership with some of the softwares and tools that we use, which is for CRM, that's HubSpot. Um, I don't think you can go better than HubSpot at the moment as far as CRM goes. For
Okay.
project management tool, we are partnering with Asana, and then for accounting software, it's FreshBooks. And now with the new website and with everything, we will be offering free access to these tools with some of our plans.
Wow.
So when people sign up for the service, they're gonna get free access to these tools, which is I know people are hesitating to even um, consider them because when you start doing your research on software and everything, there is a price, of course. They all do the same job, almost the same. You have the better ones and the not so good ones. They are all paid by the user, and then add that to paying monthly and things like that. It adds up, and it's a huge expense and huge cost for a business. And this is my saying. We'll help you out, and we will be offering you free access to these tools with our plans.
Now, I wanted to ask you because I know before when I signed up, do you have a trial? Do you have like a trial
Now
period?
we have a trial that's kind of became like a trial of a day. So you get a day to get to know your assistant, to hand them over your tasks, to give them access to your accounts or wherever you need help with, and then the next day would be your start day. That will be your start
And I want to say that first day of the trial where you get to test it out, I
day.
think that really helped me
Hmm.
get comfortable and make that decision of moving forward with you. You know, and because I'm the type of person that I like to feel things out before I make a commitment,
Of course,
and that
definitely.
definitely, I definitely recommend everybody. Please, if you're thinking or just you're not sure, try it out. Just try it out. Talk with Jelena. She has a lot of great advice She's really, she was one of the people, believe it or not, that had told me, you got to get on social media, you got to do these live video calls, conference calls, and really, put some good things up in my noggin over here.
Thank you.
That really stuck with me. And again, not just live video calls, but on how I handled my social media, and responding. There's a long list of pluses I have to say for everybody. So please, for Jelena and my VA 360, if you're just thinking about it, I definitely highly recommend give Jelena a call, message her. And Jelena, do you have like a website that you could
Oh yeah, definitely, yes. They can go to our website, so it's myva360.com, and they can email us at info@myva360.com.
myva360.com. Hold on one second. Check it out. All right, so I'm going to post that right now.
Okay, and also if they can also call us, of course. It's 305-851-7006.
So I want to say thank you, Jelena. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you having me so much. Thank you.
Thank you for being on our show today. Again, I hope everybody that has viewed today's show found a lot true value in watching. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank all of my previous past guests for making this possible. And also, I want to thank everybody currently still working out there, all of everybody working in supermarkets, gas stations, all the essential businesses that are still open with employees currently working. I want to thank everybody that are working right now because, without them, we wouldn't be able to eat and live our life the way that we're living.
Huge thank you to them. Yes.
So thank you. God bless. And please, I hope everybody, has a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to be taking off. We're not going to do any videos tomorrow. So I want to give everybody a little break, so to speak. But definitely, we're going to be tuning in next week. So I'll keep everybody posted. Again, thank you. God bless. Signing off. Until next time, guys. Thank you, Jelena.
Thank you.